Hi guys, welcome to my new YouTube video. In our previous video, we checked out the new super intelligent model from Meta AI called Muse Spark. In this video, what I wanted to do is compare Muse Spark with Google Gemini 3.1 Pro and the thinking model of ChatGPT from OpenAI. We'll be keeping the same prompts of building a subscription tracker website, a task management app, and a 2D Dodge game. Let's see which one performs better, which one is more accurate, which one has a better UI, and which one is the quickest. Let's check it out. So that's how we'll be comparing Google Gemini, ChatGPT, and Meta AI. We'll be using Gemini Pro with the 3.1 Pro model, which Google has. We'll also be using the ChatGPT Plus model with the thinking and also the thinking model of Meta AI. Here in Gemini, we need to go into tools and select canvas. The reason we do that is we want to see the preview of our app or our website. If we do not select that, then Google just gives you a direct package or a zip file which you need to download and run locally on your VS Code on your own machine. So we want to actually preview it in the browser itself. So that's why we need to toggle the canvas, and we will paste this prompt. Here, instead of fast, we'll be selecting the Pro model just to be, on a safer side, and also to keep this comparison fair enough between all the three models. And let's click submit. Same we'll do with ChatGPT. Here we have the thinking mode on. We'll paste the same prompt and submit it. And the same with Meta AI, where we have the thinking on with the same prompt. And let's see which model is quick with giving us the output. One thing to note is that with Gemini as well as with ChatGPT, you can see the code right away, and also you can see the chain of thought behind it. But with Meta AI, it just gives you a direct, straight up single line sentence about what it is currently doing in the background. With Google Gemini, it shows you the thinking and also the code. Similarly, with ChatGPT, you have the code which you can copy or edit. Well, you don't have the preview button on because it's still going through the entire process. Similarly with Gemini. So Gemini was the first one to give us the output. It was very quick. ChatGPT is still going with the code as well as Meta AI. So Google gets very, very quick with its output. You can see that it has given us a subtrack with total monthly cost and add subscription button. Let's say we click on add subscription, you get this toggle. We can click on Netflix and probably pick up the price as $9.99, and it's a monthly cycle. And it also gives us the next billing date. The calendar toggle also works, and you can click on save service. Okay, so it has added that. Looks good. We can add another subscription, and let's say you keep this as YouTube Premium. That's $12.99. Again, it's a monthly cycle. We can even toggle and see, yeah, it's even giving you the option of having a yearly or a weekly service. And then you click on save service. So you get that as well. But I do not see a pie diagram giving us the bifurcation of our monthly subscriptions. Let's see what others have already done. Okay, so ChatGPT is ready. You can click on preview, and same with Meta AI. So you also have the preview ready with Meta. So ChatGPT and Meta sort of finished together, but Gemini was quick. We have a dark mode when it comes to ChatGPT. And let's say we want to add some subscription. We click on Netflix here as well. We keep the price as $9.99. We have the monthly cycle and the next billing date. Well, okay, so you see that it has not picked up the current date, which Gemini did. It showed that today is 18th of April. So it knows that, but ChatGPT does not. So you have to manually enter the date. You do not have a calendar toggle as well. So that's a drawback. And we need to manually enter the date for this subscription. And that is not a good thing if we have to do it for every subscription. So you get Netflix monthly cycle. That's good. We have the estimated monthly cost. Same with Meta AI. You have a good UI and it says that, okay, add your first subscription. You have Netflix. Price is okay. So you also get the option to toggle between euro, dollar, as well as pound. So that's a good thing. I don't think so that was given as an option in ChatGPT, neither in Gemini. So that's pretty weird. But Meta has gone a step ahead, and you got 15.99. So let's say 19.99. We keep a random price. Okay, so you have the calendar toggle here as well, and you have category as well as a monthly cycle, quarterly, yearly, weekly. So it's sort of like a step ahead of Gemini, which is a good thing. You can even assign colors, and even you have the option to give notes. So it's a step ahead compared to Gemini. You get the saved subscription, but why does it not work? Okay, do we need to type something? Okay, so that's pretty sad because you cannot save the subscription. It just says that you can add it. Let me just close it. And if I click on add from here, I click on Netflix, I have 15.99 monthly cycle. Okay, that's fine. Save subscription. Okay, so save subscription does not work when it comes to our subscription tracker app on Meta, which is pretty sad because it was a step ahead when it came about the features, but it's not able to even save the subscription. So that's a drawback. You get some idea about what it has done, the features, also the code structure. Whereas in case of ChatGPT, you have the code as well, which I don't know where to look for. Let me see. Okay, so you have open console and rename. So it says that it's running the code. So you don't get the code here. That's not a good sign. And with Meta AI, with Meta also, you don't get the option to get the code. But in case of Gemini, you have the code as well as the preview. So it's sort of like a mixed bag, I would say. Gemini does a very good job when it comes to how quick it is with the output, but there are some features lacking. For example, you cannot switch between the currencies, which Meta AI did. Whereas in case of ChatGPT, you don't see the code. Also, you have to manually enter the date every time. Let us see whether we can edit or delete. Okay, so it does edit. Let me just make it 12.99. Save changes. Okay, so edit option works. What about delete? And it also deletes it. So that's a good thing. But in case of Meta, we were neither able to add any subscription. So there is no point whether we can delete it or edit it because we cannot just add it at the start. In case of Gemini, we can delete. It asks you. So it's a reconfirmation. That's a good sign. Can we edit? Yes, you can. And instead of 12.99, let's 22.99. And it has updated it. So in this test, I would say Gemini is a clear winner. You get the code. It was quick. Some features are lacking, but obviously with your prompt, you can change it, make it better. Let's go on to the next test. For the second task, I asked all these AI models to generate a preview of an Android task management app. And in my prompt, I clearly mentioned to show me the preview of the app. Because what was happening is that with a couple of tries, I was not getting the preview. I was just getting the code as well as the code structure, the file structure. But I specifically mentioned in this try to show me the preview of the app. Again, Gemini and ChatGPT were very quick with it. You can also see the preview over here. Whereas in case of Meta AI, it is still taking its own time. So it's sort of slow. One thing to note definitely is that with this AI models, these prompts or these tasks are always a hit and a miss. It's not guaranteed that you're going to get the same output each time you put the same prompt. There always will be cases where somewhere the LLM might hallucinate. Sometimes you might get the code, sometimes you might get the output. It's just their way of dealing with stuff. But okay, ChatGPT and Gemini have the UI ready. You can see that it has already given us a mock phone screen. Also, you have review Android documentation like a pre-built default task, which it has already implemented. You can click on plus icon. Okay, so let's say pay bill, save task. Okay, so saving, that is possible. You can delete it, that also works. There is no edit button, but obviously I don't think so. I have given the prompt of editing the tasks. So that's obviously going to not be a feature. Simple, straight up, very easy. Again, with ChatGPT, this UI looks a little bit better. You also have the categories of pending, completed, which was not the case with Gemini. you could just see on the screen itself that whether if it's tick mark, that means it's completed, and there is no pending or completed or in progress category. We have, in case of ChatGPT, a decent UI. What needs to be done? We need to pay the bill. We can just add it. Okay, it's in progress. You click on completed. So even the number before was 1 and now it is 2 under the completed category. You also have this calendar button or notes button, but it does not work. That's fine. Walk for 20 minutes. So that's something by default it has added. You can just delete it because I don't need to do that. Pending is 1, which is payable. We'll click completed 3. So ChatGPT here scores very well. It has a better UI. It also has the categorization of our tasks, and it does the job. Whereas in case of Meta AI, okay, so it has given us a preview. Let us open. Okay, so buy groceries, I think so, is something which all LLM models use as a default task. You click on buy groceries. Okay, it does. Call mom. Okay, can you delete it? Yes, deleting works. You have 2 tasks, 2 completed. We add another task. Okay, so here Meta AI scores again better than Gemini because you have this categorization of tasks. You have the completed, not completed. Okay, well, ChatGPT did a better job because you had the in progress category as well. So all in all, in this task, Gemini was a little bit behind because it was quick, but it did not have all the features that we wanted. What can you do with it? And that is up to you. With the prompt, you can keep on adding features. But for this task, I felt that ChatGPT did a better job, followed by Meta, and Gemini behind, even though it was quick with the results. For our last task, we are going to ask the AI models to build a 2D dodge game, which we did in the previous video as well. Let's hit the submit button on all the AI models, and let's see which one does a better job. Up until now, Gemini has been the quickest. It scored a point in the first task where it was able to add, edit, delete the features as well as the subscriptions. ChatGPT was second and then Meta because we just couldn't add or delete the subscription. But in the second task, Meta and ChatGPT did a better job compared to Gemini. Again, with the dodge game as well, Gemini is straight up right in front with the output, followed by ChatGPT and then Meta. So Meta is a little bit slower, but one thing to note is that in case of all these 3 models, we are using the paid services when it comes to Gemini and ChatGPT, whereas the super intelligent model Muse Spark from Meta AI is completely free. So that is something which we need to keep in mind. All right, so both Gemini and ChatGPT are ready with their output, whereas Meta is still taking their own sweet time. Okay, with ChatGPT, it already started the game. So, okay, we need to press space to restart, and it does not work. Okay, so it works. We have the okay, so we have the keyboard keys working, but the speed is too fast to begin with. Let us see if we can handle it. And the score also increases pretty quickly. And I don't know why all the obstacles are to the left. Okay, there are some to the right. Okay, okay. Pretty weird, pretty weird. Yeah, we can do it. But okay, there was no sound in it. That's fine. Decently well, I would say. Let's see how Gemini is doing. So it says neon dodge, so it has given the name. Use left and right arrows or A, T to move, dodge the falling. Okay. Okay, that's pretty cool. So the obstacles look a little bit nicer in case of Gemini. They have this glow on their sides or the borders. And yeah, everything looks okay, I would say. Okay, again, no sound, and that's fine. But I would say a little bit better than ChatGPT in terms of the UI. Let's see how Meta AI does. So Meta is ready. We can go down with it and see how it has done. We click on open. Again, it has given neon dodge. Yeah, it is very much similar to how we did in our previous video. So it has stuck to that, but I don't know why. Okay, so now it seems to be moving. Initially it was stuck. Again, the obstacles look better, I would say, compared to ChatGPT. And yeah, it's decent. It's a good starting point. Again, I would say probably Gemini from a UI perspective looks a little bit better, followed by Meta and then ChatGPT. But overall, a pretty good starting point when it comes to all these three tasks. All in all, I would say Gemini was a little bit better. But again, we need to keep in mind that Gemini and ChatGPT are the paid subscription models, not the free ones, which is the case with Meta AI. All right, so let's rank these AI models. In terms of speed, Gemini was a clear winner. It was fast and reliable. It gave you the option to download the code as well as the preview option. It was doing a fairly good job with the UI as well as understanding the tasks which we mentioned in our prompt. ChatGPT was somewhere in the middle. It was slower than Gemini, but it was getting the task done fairly well. But with regards to cost, Meta AI's super intelligent Muse Spark was doing a very, very good job, considering that it is free, because the other two models that we tested are behind a subscription plan. Meta AI's super intelligent model was sometimes a hit and a miss because it was not able to add any subscription in the first task. But you can obviously keep on improving and enhancing the prompt to add more new features. Hope you guys learned something new in this video. Consider liking, sharing, and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.